You were never meant to struggle for what is already yours. The truth is simple, but the world has made it complicated. They have taught you to chase, to beg, to wait. But reality is not built from effort, it is built from assumption. You do not need to become a better version of yourself to manifest what you desire. You only need to change the position from which you think. That which you desire already exists. The moment you became aware of it, it was born. But you see, most people approach this backwards. They try to manifest from a place of emptiness, from lack, from noticing that what they want is not yet here. So they push. They visualize with tension. They affirm with fear. They work with one eye on the clock, wondering when the world will finally change. That is not creation, that is resistance. Manifestation is not something you do. It is something you allow. It is something you assume. It is the silent knowing that what you imagine with feeling must come to pass. To imagine is to plant. To feel it real is to water the seed. And to rest in faith is to let the harvest come. Your senses may scream that nothing is happening, but the unseen world always moves before the seen. You must dare to see differently. Close your eyes and forget the facts. Forget what the world has told you. Go within and see the scene clearly. See yourself already in possession of it. Don't try to get it. Don't hope. Don't wish. Become. Feel the joy of it. Feel the relief. Walk in it. Live from it. Let the inner scene be more vivid than the outer one. You're not doing it wrong because you're unworthy. You're doing it wrong because you think you need to earn what already belongs to you. You don't climb a mountain to manifest. You step into the state of the wish fulfilled. And from that state, the world will rearrange. People, events, timing, circumstances, they will move without your effort. Let go out of the trying. Rest in the knowing. Manifesting is not hard. Your approach is just wrong. Shift it, and everything changes. You are always manifesting, whether you know it or not. This is not a practice you occasionally engage in, nor is it something reserved for certain rituals or special times of focus. Manifestation is not an activity. It is the very nature of your being. It is the continuous outpicturing of your inner world. The life you are living right now, this very moment, is the result of what you have accepted to be true, consciously or unconsciously. Every thought you consistently dwell upon, every emotion you entertain, every belief you silently carry, they all shape the form your life takes. You cannot turn it off. Just as a fire gives off heat, your consciousness gives off form. So many believe that manifesting is something they must learn how to do. They read books, they follow steps, they repeat words. And while these things can be helpful, they miss the most vital truth. You are already doing it. The only question is, what are you manifesting? There is no pause in this process. Life mirrors back to you not what you want, but what you assume, what you expect, and most powerfully, what you accept without question. You can only receive from life what you are in harmony with internally. And this harmony is not something you force through effort. It is something you allow by the direction of your attention. Where your attention goes, energy flows. Where your imagination dwells, the world follows. The truth is, every moment of your day is a declaration of your inner state. When you look at your bank account and feel worry, you are not observing reality, you are recreating it. When you look in a mirror and feel unworthy, You are not simply having a thought. You are sealing a command into your subconscious, and that command must be fulfilled. When you assume that people don't see your value, that love is hard to find, that success is reserved for others, those are not idle opinions. They are seeds, and they bear fruit. This is not to frighten you, but to awaken you. Because if your life is not where you want it to be, it is not because you are unlucky. It is not because you are cursed. It is not because your past is too heavy. It is because in some area of your life, you have been misusing your power unconsciously. The most beautiful part of this truth is that once you become aware, you can begin to choose differently. You can begin to plant new seeds. You are never stuck. You are never at the mercy of the world. The world is responding to you. Your outer world is simply a canvas painted by your inner state. Change that, and the picture must change. Not through effort, not through struggle, through alignment. The world wants you to believe that circumstances create your state. But the reverse is true. Your state creates your circumstances. You have seen it before. When you feel confident, things open up. When you feel loved, people are drawn to you. When you feel abundant, opportunities flow. This is not coincidence. This is the law. So, you must become aware of what you are broadcasting. Watch your thoughts. Not to fear them, but to understand your patterns. Notice the stories you tell yourself. Are they stories of power or of limitation? Do they affirm your wholeness, or do they keep you bound to the past? Begin to choose differently, not by force, but by intention. Rest in the awareness that you are the operant power. You are the author, not the victim. You are not here to chase what you want. You are here to embody it. And once embodied, it must come, not because you forced it, but because that is how reality works. You are always manifesting. Now it's time to do it on purpose. Desire is not something to be doubted, questioned, or suppressed. It is not a mistake, nor is it a product of your imagination running wild. Desire is a divine signal, a whisper from within that reveals to you what already exists for you in the unseen. The presence of the desire itself is evidence of its reality. You would not long for something that wasn't already yours in potential. The very fact that it appeared in your heart means it is within your reach. You are not chasing fantasies. You are being guided toward fulfillment. Most people have been taught to look at their desires with suspicion. They are told to be realistic, to manage expectations, to not get their hopes up. But what they do not realize is that in pushing away their desires, they are pushing away the very thing that would complete their joy. You do not receive desires from nowhere. They are not random. They are the soul's recognition of a future reality trying to reach you. They are not meant to torment you. They are meant to guide you back to who you truly are. When you feel a true desire, a pull, a longing, a vision that will not leave you, it is not something to be dismissed. It is something to be honored. That desire is life itself moving through you, asking you to awaken to your creative power. You may not know how it will come. You may not see the path, but the path is not your concern. The desire is the signpost, not the destination. Your only task is to accept it, to assume it as already yours, to dwell in the feeling that it is done. The moment you felt the longing, the bridge began to build. It is not about waiting for something outside to change. It is about changing your inner stance, your assumptions, your expectations, your reactions. When you can feel the desire as already fulfilled, when you can claim it, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. The world has no choice but to reflect it. You are not here to hope for your desires. You are here to embody them. The world may not see it yet. Your senses may deny it, but that is irrelevant. Reality always catches up with conviction. What you believe and feel on the inside will materialize on the outside. That is the law. You were never meant to beg for what you want. You were never meant to plead with life or try to convince the world of your worthiness. You were meant to know, to rest in the quiet confidence that what you desire is already yours by right of consciousness. When you stop treating your desire like a distant dream and begin treating it like a present truth, everything changes. You move differently. You speak differently. You no longer ask if it's possible. You begin to expect its arrival. And that expectancy is the magnet. That expectancy is what rearranges circumstances, people, and events to bring it to you. You do not need to earn your desires. You do not need to prove that you are ready. You only need to accept them as already real. Let go of the how. Let go of the when. These are distractions. Stay with the what. Stay with the feeling. Let the desire live in you fully. Let it be a place you return to in imagination until it becomes your natural dwelling. And from that place, you will see life shift. Desire is sacred. It is the proof of what is already written for you in the invisible. It is not a cruel illusion. It is your inner self pointing toward what you are capable of receiving. If you trust it, if you honor it, and if you believe in its fulfillment, it will come. Not through striving, not through waiting, but through alignment. The desire is the invitation. Your belief is the key. The moment you felt it, it was already yours. Effort and struggle are resistance in disguise. They come dressed as determination, as discipline, as the necessary grind. But beneath them lies a belief that you do not yet have what you seek, that it is separate from you, that it must be earned, chased, or forced into your life. And so many fall into this trap, thinking that the more they do, the harder they work, the faster they move, the closer they'll get. But manifestation does not respond to strain. It responds to inner conviction. It responds to the one who knows that what they desire is already theirs. Trying too hard affirms the very thing you are trying to escape, lack. When you strive with desperation, you are declaring through your actions, I don't have it. Your energy becomes a signal of separation, not of possession, and the universe, ever faithful to reflect your inner state, must echo back the reality of not having. You delay the very thing you want because you are focused on the absence of it. You do not fight for what is already yours, you assume it. You claim it in silence. You wear it in your thoughts. You feel it in your being. It is not loud, it is not dramatic, it is certain. Like breathing, like the rising of the sun, you rest in the knowing. That is true manifestation. It's not about effort. It's about alignment. It's about tuning your inner world to the frequency of already having. When a person knows they are loved, they don't constantly seek proof. They move with confidence. When someone knows they are successful, they don't have to proclaim it to everyone they meet. They carry a quiet power. And when you know your desire is already fulfilled, you stop trying to make it happen. You begin to live from it, not chase it. The mistake most make is in thinking manifestation is about action, about doing more, pushing harder, moving faster. But action without belief is empty. It is noise. True manifestation begins in the mind. It begins in the feeling. Until you can dwell in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, your outer actions are just movements. They are not creation. Let this truth sink in. The state of having must come before the evidence of having. That means you must enter the feeling of abundance before the money arrives. You must embody love before the partner appears. You must dwell in the sense of success before the results show up. This is not fantasy. It is the law of consciousness. The outer mirrors the inner, not the other way around. So when you find yourself exhausted, when you're pushing and forcing and nothing is working, stop. That struggle is not progress, it is resistance. It is a signal that you are out of alignment. Come back to stillness. Come back to the assumption that what you want is already yours. Ask yourself, how would I feel right now if I had it? How would I walk, speak, think, move? Then do that. You must understand, manifestation is not about pulling something in from the outside. It is about awakening what is already within. The wealth, the love, the peace, it all begins inside you. And when you match that internal frequency, the world adjusts to meet it. This is the secret. Not to try harder, but to let go. To relax into the truth of your power. To stop begging and start becoming. You are not meant to struggle for your desires. You are meant to rest in them. The oak tree does not strain to grow. The stars do not force their light to shine. They are what they are. And when you stop resisting, when you stop believing it has to be hard, you will see how naturally the things you want begin to appear, not because you fought for them, but because you finally stopped standing in your own way. Imagination is the only creative force in reality. Everything that has ever been brought into the visible world began first as a thought, a vision, a quiet whisper in the unseen realm of imagination. This is not poetic. It is law. The chair you sit on, the home you live in, the career you walk through, all of it existed first in someone's mind. Imagination is the womb of creation. And what you see within, you will see without. The outer world is not random. It is a delayed mirror, reflecting the state of your inner world. Most people walk through life as if the external world is cause and their inner world is effect. They believe circumstances dictate feelings, that reality shapes thought. But it is the other way around. The inner man, the inner you, is the origin of all that is seen. It is not the job that brings you security. It is your inner sense of security that brings the job. It is not love appearing that makes you feel worthy. It is the feeling of worthiness that attracts love. This is how the game is played. The imagination is not just daydreaming. It is not a childish fantasy. It is divine. It is sacred. It is the place where your world is born. What you allow yourself to feel and accept in imagination becomes the blueprint from which your physical world is built. If you dwell in thoughts of fear, of failure, of unworthiness, life has no choice but to reflect those images. But if you dare to dwell in joy, in abundance, in peace, even when your senses say otherwise, you are shifting the foundation of your reality. Do not wait for the world to give you permission to imagine something better. Use your inner vision as the command. When you close your eyes and see yourself living the life you desire, you are not pretending, you are creating. That scene you see in your mind, that feeling that rises in your chest, that certainty you touch for just a moment, that is more real than anything the senses can show you. The senses only report the past, but imagination creates the future. When you persist in an imagined scene, when you return to it over and over again, not with desperation, but with confidence, You begin to impress it upon your subconscious mind, and the subconscious, being the servant it is, begins to move people, events, and circumstances to match that vision. You do not have to force it. You do not have to know how. The how is not your job. Your job is to see it, to feel it, to assume it, and the rest unfold. The outer world always lags behind the inner world. It is not instant, but it is inevitable. A seed planted does not bloom the same day, but the bloom is already contained in the seed. So it is with your imagination. That inner scene you saw, of peace, of love, of wealth, is already planted. The question is, will you nurture it? Will you persist in it? Will you live in the assumption that it is already true? You do not need to tell others what you are imagining. You do not need to seek their validation. This is a private, sacred journey. What you dare to accept in imagination will appear in time. And when it does, it will feel natural, inevitable, as if it could not have happened any other way. Because in truth, it was always happening. The moment you imagined it, it began. Imagination is the key to all transformation. Change the concept of yourself and the world must change around you. See yourself differently and life bends to meet that version. Do not fight the outer. Ignore it if it contradicts your vision. Turn inward. That is where the power is. What you see in imagination, what you truly accept as real, you will see in the world. Not because you forced it, but because you believed it. That is creation. That is reality. Motion charges the scene, feel it real. You must understand, it is not enough to simply see something in the mind's eye. To imagine a better life, a new version of self, or a different outcome, without feeling is like drawing without ink. It carries no power, no movement. The secret lies in the emotion you bring to the scene, the energy with which you enter it. For it is feeling, not thought alone, that impresses the subconscious mind and turns imagination into experience. When you imagine, you are not merely playing with images. You are speaking the language of creation. But the subconscious does not respond to empty words. It does not respond to logic or willpower. It responds to feeling. That deep inner knowing, that rich, invisible sensation that something is already true. You must feel it real. Not because you are trying to force the world to change, but because you are aligning with a version of yourself where it already has changed. Imagine for a moment a scene where your desire is already fulfilled. You are not hoping it will happen. You are living it. You are standing in the room or walking through the place or holding the hand of the person you've longed for. What do you feel in that moment? What does your body say? What does your heart whisper? That feeling, that inner movement is the key. The feeling brings it to life. Emotion gives the scene weight. It gives it depth. You're no longer an observer. You are now a participant. You're no longer watching the scene. You are in it, breathing its air, carrying its joy. And that's when the subconscious receives it as truth. Not as a wish, not as a fantasy, but as something real. And because the subconscious knows no difference between what is real and what is vividly imagined with feeling, it sets in motion the unseen mechanics of manifestation. You must dwell in the mood of the wish fulfilled, not once, not twice, but consistently. Belief is built through repetition of that inner feeling. When you return to it night after night or in quiet moments of the day, you are reconditioning your inner world. You are rewriting the story you've told about yourself. And eventually you no longer need to convince yourself. It becomes natural. The assumption settles. You begin to live from it. And that is when the world must reflect it. It cannot do otherwise. The world is a mirror, not a master. It does not dictate, you do, that you must speak in its language, and that language is feeling, not frantic emotion, not desperation, but deep, calm, powerful inner knowing. A trust that says, this is mine. Even when the outer contradicts, even when the evidence is not yet visible, you feel it real, because you know the outer is just a shadow of the inner. This is not pretending. This is not self-delusion. It is alignment. You are choosing to live from the truth of your desire instead of the illusion of its absence. You are stepping into the version of you who already has, already is, already knows. And the longer you live in that feeling, the more it becomes your home. The more naturally you speak from it, walk in it, and make decisions from it. Motion is the fire. It is the current that moves the vision from mind to matter. So let the scene stir something in you. Let it bring you peace, or joy, or satisfaction. Whatever would be natural in that fulfilled state. And hold it. Not with effort, but with presence. Let it soak into your being. Because once the feeling takes root, the world has no choice. It must rearrange itself to reflect that inner truth. That is the law, and that is the power you've always had. Not to struggle for change, but to feel it into existence. You must move mentally, not physically. The mistake most make is to believe that action alone changes life. That if they push harder, run faster, work longer, they can force life into submission. But the true shift never begins with action. It begins in the mind. All transformation, all elevation, all true manifestation starts not with physical effort, but with mental movement. You must go there in consciousness before your feet ever touch the ground. Do not concern yourself with how it will happen or when it will unfold. Instead, focus on the most important step, the internal shift. The moment you begin to think from the place where your desire is fulfilled, you set the wheels of creation into motion. It is not about thinking of the desire. That leaves it distant, separate, out of reach. You must think from the place where it is already so. That is the secret. That is the shift. To walk mentally in the scene where your desire is already yours is to align with the reality you wish to live. If you desire wealth, do not merely wish for it. Mentally move into the state of the one who already has it. How do they walk? How do they speak? What decisions do they make? What worries no longer burden them? Begin to think from that identity, and the world will conform. It may not happen instantly, for the world of matter is slow, but it is obedient. It must take the shape of your sustained inner assumption. When you persist in mentally living from the place of your fulfilled desire, the outer world becomes compelled to catch up. Circumstances bend, people align, events unfold, not because you forced them, but because you shifted your position in consciousness. This movement is silent, invisible. No one sees it happening, but within you feel it. Something clicks. Something changes. You are no longer chasing, you are dwelling. You no longer ask if it will come, you assume it already has. That shift in attitude is power. That shift is creation. You may be standing in the same room, speaking to the same people, working the same job, but internally you are in a new place. You have moved. And because you have moved mentally, you will soon move physically. Not through force, but through alignment, the right opportunities, the right timing, the right doors. These will appear naturally, almost effortlessly, because you are no longer resisting your own vision. Many struggle because they act without alignment. They try to rearrange the outside while carrying the same beliefs, the same fears, the same old story within. And nothing changes. But when you change your inner position, when you assume the state of the fulfilled desire, your action becomes inspired, guided, and effective. You no longer act to get, you act because you already are. And that makes all the difference. This is not about pretending. It is not about fooling yourself. It is about choosing where you dwell mentally. Every day, every moment, you are occupying a state. You are thinking from somewhere. Make sure that place is aligned with what you want, not with what you fear, because the state you occupy, whether by habit or by choice, determines the life you live. So move, but move in the mind first. Move in imagination. Walk the halls of the home you desire. Hear the voice of the love you already have. Feel the weight of success resting comfortably on your shoulders. Let that be your dwelling place. Let that be your new address. And persist there, for the outer world is not your master. It is your mirror. It does not lead. It follows. So lead it with your inner world. Think from the end, and the end will come. Move mentally, and the physical world will rise to meet you. Always. In conclusion, the power to transform your life lies not in the external actions you take, but in the internal shifts you make. The world you experience is merely a reflection of your inner world, and your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions shape that world more than any physical effort could. When you move mentally, when you dwell in the state of the wish fulfilled, you align with the natural flow of creation, and the outer world must adjust accordingly. Remember, manifestation is not about struggle or striving. It is about assuming, feeling, and living from the reality you desire. The key is to think from the place of fulfillment, to feel it real, and to persist in that assumption until it becomes your natural state. Thank you for taking the time to listen, and may you embrace the power within you to create the life you desire. When you walk into that store or open that app or mark that slip, pause. That moment is sacred. This is not gambling. This is creation. The world tells you to hope, but hope is uncertainty. What you must carry is knowing, the kind of knowing that doesn't flinch when the odds shout against you, the kind of knowing that says, "It is done." Do not play as one who is waiting to receive. Play as one who already has. When you hold that ticket, feel the coolness of it in your hand, and let your mind whisper gently, "This is the one." Not because of luck, but because you chose it in consciousness long before the numbers ever rolled into reality. You must understand this. The numbers are not chosen for you, they are chosen by you through your inner conviction. And that conviction must be silent, calm, unshakable. Do not keep checking. Do not talk about what if. That is the language of doubt. Instead, close your eyes tonight and sleep as the winner. Not the person hoping to win, but the one who already has. Let your body relax in the softness of wealth. Let your breath settle into certainty. Let your mind rest not in desire, but in fulfillment. You are not chasing numbers. You are tuning into a reality where the numbers already align. Hold that ticket like it's your birthright and speak over it. Thank you for choosing me. Not someday, not maybe, but now. You are imprinting the physical with the power of the invisible. And above all, don't visualize the moment of winning. That's just a door. Visualize what's on the other side. See the home, see the travel, see the ease, see the freedom, see your mother smiling, see the people you help, see the joy of walking into a room and knowing everything is taken care of. Because that is where the magic lives. So play, but don't just play the lottery. Play reality. Do not buy the ticket in hope. Buy it as one who already possesses what the world is still waiting to see. This is the secret most overlooked. Hope is passive. It waits. But knowing is active. It creates. When you act from hope, you stand outside of your desire. Admiring it is something distant, fragile, uncertain. But when you act from knowing, you become one with the thing you seek. You collapse the distance between yourself and the outcome. You become the fulfillment of the desire itself. Understand this. There is a great difference between wanting to win and knowing you have won. The former is rooted in lack. It says, I don't have. The latter is rooted in abundance. It says, it is already mine. One stems from separation, the other from union. When you walk up to purchase that ticket, your outer world may still look the same, but your inner world must already have shifted. You are no longer a person trying to become rich. You are rich, participating in the ritual of claiming what has already been assigned to you. Oh, most people buy tickets with shaky hands and hopeful hearts. They speak about luck, chance, and odds. They discuss numbers and strategies. But what they do not realize is that the real lottery happens within. It is the state of consciousness you occupy when you make the decision to play. The only number that matters is the frequency you are tuned to. Because reality, as you know it, must reflect back to you the dominant tone of your imagination. So when you choose the numbers, don't scratch the card or tap submit. Do so with quiet confidence. Do not beg, do not wonder, and above all, do not wait. The one who knows does not wait. They live as if the outcome has already been delivered. They do not obsessively check, they do not keep asking, what if? They do not allow their current bank balance to tell them who they are. No, they walk differently. They breathe differently. They treat money differently, not recklessly but freely, because they know it flows in like breath and just as naturally. That you must train yourself to live in the assumption. When the desire is imagined with intensity and accepted as real, then life bends to it. This is the principle few understand. You are not drawing a lucky number. You are aligning with a version of yourself that already has it. That self already exists. It is already done. And when you dwell in that version, when you live from that place, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, the physical must conform. You do not need science. You do not need proof. The world will try to convince you otherwise. It will demand evidence before it allows belief. But you must do the opposite. You must offer belief before the evidence appears. You must walk into the store and feel what it's like to have already received. Smile softly, not because of what may happen, but because of what already has. And in that quiet certainty, something shifts, not in the ticket, but in you. The magic is not in the paper, the magic is in the state. And that state, when faithfully occupied, draws all things into form. You are not reaching forward, you are remembering backward. The moment you say, I am the winner with calm conviction, the world must rearrange itself to mirror your knowing. So do not hope. Hope belongs to those who still doubt. No, it is yours. And live from that knowing. Then watch as the outer reflects the inner, and the numbers obedient to your imagination fall into place. Before the numbers are drawn, before the world can catch up to what you already know, you must dwell in the end. You must assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This is not a mental game of pretending. It is a spiritual act of creation. It is the bold declaration that what you desire already is, even if your senses insist otherwise. The world is always lagging behind your inner convictions. What you see with your eyes is simply the echo of what you believed within. So if you desire to win, you must first win in imagination. You must go there not once, not briefly, but often, with vivid emotion and sincerity. You must inhabit that version of yourself that has already received the blessing. Close your eyes and ask, how does it feel to know the numbers matched? Not just the joy in the moment of discovery, but the deep, lasting peace that comes when the burden of lack has fallen away. What would change in your breath, your walk, your posture, your choices? You see, it is not about wishing to win. Wishing is still waiting, but feeling it is real. Embracing it without evidence is the bridge. At night, when the lights are off and the mind is free from distractions, this is your sacred time. Before you fall asleep, surrender to the feeling that you are already the person who has won. Don't reach for it as if it's distant. Sink into it. Let your body relax as one who has nothing more to chase. Let your heart beat with the rhythm of abundance. Let your soul whisper, thank you, not for a future event, but for a reality already here. This is not mere visualization. Visualization is a technique. This is possession. It is not imagining the money arriving. It is being the one who already has it. The distinction is subtle but powerful. When you imagine as though it's coming, you keep it on the horizon. But when you feel it as yours now, you pull it into the present. And the present is the only place manifestation can occur. Speak not of the wind as a hope, but as a memory. It felt so simple. I always knew. Of course it happened. Use the tone of certainty. Let your inner dialogue reflect fulfillment, not lack. And don't be concerned with the outer. The numbers are just symbols, and symbols obey the one who holds the state. You might think the odds are against you, but you are not dealing with chance. You are dealing with law. The law that says, whatever you feel to be true will shape itself into form. So the numbers you dwell in the end, you give the universe its command. You say, this is who I am. And all things begin to shift. But the shift begins with you. Not with the ticket, not with the machine, not with chance, with you. With your inner world, with the assumption you carry into sleep, into conversation, into your breath. So don't wait to feel like a winner. Feel it now, assume it now, be it now. Because what you assume, you create. And when you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you draw the unseen into the seen, and the magic begins. Do not obsess over how or when it will happen. The moment you plant the seed, your part is complete. The desire has been set into motion, and the rest is not yours to micromanage. You were never asked to make it happen. You were asked to believe it has already happened. That is the difference between manifesting with power and delaying it with fear. The seed grows in silence and in darkness, not by force, not by constant digging to see if it's sprouting. It grows by surrender. So it is with your desires. Once the feeling has been assumed, Once the inner act has been accepted as real, your work is to let go. Let the unseen forces do what they must. Trust that it is working, even if you cannot yet see the evidence. Many delay their manifestations not because they don't want them enough, but because they want them too much. They cling, they chase, they doubt. They question whether it's working. They stare at the calendar wondering if they did enough. But this energy of desperation is not creation. It is resistance. It is trying to force the flower to bloom before it's ready. You must learn the art of detachment. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop controlling. You no longer need to beg the universe for signs. You no longer need to constantly affirm or visualize with anxiety. Instead, you rest in the confidence that it is already yours and that it is making its way to you in perfect time and perfect form. Let go of the how. The human mind will try to solve it, manipulate it, predict it. But you are not the source of the miracle. You are the recipient of it. All things are being arranged behind the curtain, far beyond what you can comprehend. Stay in your state of knowing and trust the unfolding. Let go of the when. Time is an illusion to the creative spirit. What feels like a delay is often a period of alignment. The universe is not ignoring you, it is preparing the exact path for your manifestation to arrive without obstruction. If it seems quiet, it's not empty, it's sacred. Just like the roots that spread underground before the tree breaks the surface. Letting go is not giving up. It is the highest form of faith. It says, I know it is done, and I do not need to interfere. And from that posture of surrender, the manifestation comes, not with effort, but with grace. It may arrive suddenly or softly, but it will come, because it must. Reality cannot withhold what you have already claimed in consciousness. Detach from needing to see it. Instead, feel it. Let the inner feeling be enough. Let the peace that comes from knowing replace the panic of needing. Live your life as though it's already settled. Go about your day with lightness, not waiting but enjoying, not hoping but resting. Let every action carry the quiet energy of one who already possesses what others are still reaching for. You don't have to know the mechanics. You only need to know the truth. What you accept as real in imagination, you would experience in life. So do not dig up your desire with doubt. Water it with trust. Shine the light of calm confidence upon it, and when you least expect it, when you are no longer looking, what you once desired will walk right into your world, drawn by the silent power of your surrender. So detach. Not because you don't care, but because you care enough to let it come in its perfect way. And it will come, not through force, but through faith. Not through worry, but through rest. Let go. The seed has been planted, and the magic, as always, is already underway. Hold the ticket with reverence, not as a mere slip of paper, not as a random chance tossed into the wind, but as a sacred symbol. This ticket is not lifeless. It is the bridge between your inner world and outer reality. It holds within it the potential for transformation, if you dare to see beyond its appearance. Many clutch a lottery ticket in desperation, hoping it will change their lives. But hope is weak compared to belief. And belief is still a step below knowing. You must rise beyond all three. You must treat the ticket not as something that might work, but as something that has already served its purpose. When you hold it, you are not waiting for your numbers to appear. You are acknowledging the manifestation already complete in the unseen. Speak to the ticket. Yes, speak to it. Words carry vibration, and intention directs power. Speak as one who knows. You are blessed. You are the carrier of wealth. You are the doorway to my answered prayer. Don't speak in fear. Don't speak to convince yourself. Speak because your soul already recognizes the truth. This is not about magic in the traditional sense. It is about energy. Everything is energy. The ticket, your voice, your thoughts, your emotions, all are frequencies in motion. And when you bless the ticket, you tune it to the frequency of abundance. You are not changing the paper. You are impressing your consciousness upon it. You are making it fertile ground for manifestation. Hold it gently, but with confidence. As you touch it, imagine your energy transferring into it. The feeling of wealth, the joy of receiving, the calm knowing that all is well. Imbue it with love, not attachment, love. Because love does not grasp, love trusts. And trust is what makes the invisible visible. You must remember, the ticket is not the source of your wealth. It is the servant of your assumption. Do not place your power in it. Place your power within and then extend it to the ticket. It is simply the container that will carry what you have already created in imagination. Just as a letter is not the message, it simply delivers it. Most people wait until after the numbers are drawn to assign meaning. But you are not most people. You understand that creation begins in the unseen. You assign meaning now. You give thanks now. You celebrate now, because you have already received inwardly. The ticket is the physical echo of an inner act, the harvest of a seed once planted. As you go about your day, carry the ticket not in fear but in faith. Do not check it constantly. Do not beg it to win. That energy speaks of lack. Instead, carry it the way one carries something sacred, with stillness, with gratitude, with certainty. Whisper to it, if only in your heart, thank you. You are already fulfilled. And then release it. You have done your part. You have breathed life into it through your imagination. You have aligned your emotion, your energy, your belief. There is nothing more to chase, only to receive. The ticket is no longer paper. It is a symbol, a reflection of the unseen becoming seen, a quiet reminder that reality bends to your assumption, that wealth is not found, it is embodied. And what you embody, you draw near. So bless the ticket. Not because it holds your future, but because it reflects your present assumption. And if that assumption is one of fulfilled desire, of complete trust, of deep knowing, then the ticket will simply follow the script you've already written in your heart. Let it be so. Give thanks daily, not for what might come, but for what already is. This is the great secret hidden in plain sight. Gratitude in advance is the mark of one who knows. It is not a ritual of polite manners. It is the language of receivers. When you give thanks for what has not yet appeared, you are not pretending. You are acknowledging what is already real in the invisible. You are aligning your inner world to the reality you have claimed. Gratitude is not something you use after something good happens. It is the tool by which things happen. It is a creative force, a signal to the unseen realm that you are in harmony with what you've asked for. When you feel grateful, you are not waiting, you are receiving. You are not longing, you are living in the end. So speak your thanks with conviction. Thank you for this blessing that is already mine. Say it before you see it, because waiting to see it is not faith, that is sight, and sight follows belief, never the other way around. Your world does not change because you are thankful after. It shifts when you are thankful before. Do not confuse this with forced positivity. Gratitude in advance is not about suppressing emotion. It is about elevating your awareness. It is choosing to dwell in the vibration of fullness rather than lack. Even if the bank account says otherwise, even if the world appears unchanged, you close your eyes and feel the abundance within, and you give thanks for it as though it were already in your hand. When you rise in the morning, let your first words be, "Thank you. It is done." Not out of habit, but from a deep inner knowing. You are not asking, you are receiving. You are not hoping, you are declaring. This shifts your entire state of being. And when your state is aligned with gratitude, miracles must come, not because you forced them. The mind may say, "But I haven't received anything yet." That is the trap. You have received everything already in consciousness. And consciousness is the only true substance. The physical follows, just as shadows follow form. Gratitude carves the space for that form to solidify. Feel it. See yourself walking into the life you've imagined. Hear the sounds of it. Taste the sweetness of it. Then say thank you. Not with a question mark, but with a period, because that is final. That is sure. That is the heart that has already received. Even when doubt creeps in, answer it with gratitude. When fear whispers, "What if it doesn't happen?" reply with, "Thank you, it already has." When delay appears, thank the delay for preparing something better. When the world looks silent, thank the silence for the perfection it hides. You are no longer reacting to appearances. You are creating from within. Let your thankfulness become your rhythm. Make it your atmosphere. Let every breath carry the energy of one who walks with blessings already poured out. This is not fantasy. This is alignment. And alignment is what causes mountains to move, doors to open, and destiny to rearrange itself around you. The gratitude in advance is your evidence of belief. It is the proof you trust what you cannot yet see, and that trust will never be betrayed. The universe cannot resist a grateful heart. It bends to serve it every time. So give thanks, not once, not only when it's easy, but daily, deliberately, joyfully. Give thanks like the one who already holds the winning ticket. Give thanks like the one who already lives the dream. Because in the unseen realm, you already do. And in time, the seen must follow. You were never playing the lottery to win. You were playing because you already knew. The world sees chance, but you move by inner law. You no longer hope, you know. You no longer beg, you become. Each act, from blessing the ticket to assuming the feeling to giving thanks in advance, is not superstition. It is power. It is alignment with the unseen forces that shape all things. You have shifted from waiting to receiving, from effort to embodiment, from desire to fulfillment. You live now as one who already holds the prize, not because the numbers say so, but because your imagination declared it so. You do not chase results. You rest in the truth that they are already yours. As you let go of the how, the when, and the noise, you become magnetic to the very thing you once longed for. This is not about luck. It is about consciousness. The only lottery that ever mattered was the one inside your mind. As you play, you no longer play to get. You play to express what is already done within you. The moment you assume the wish fulfilled, the moment you feel the life after the win, the moment you give thanks before it appears, that is the moment it becomes real. Thank you for choosing belief over doubt, stillness over struggle, and creation over chance. Let this knowing be your new foundation. The magic was never in the numbers. It was in you. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine you are no longer hoping, no longer waiting. You are not in lack. You are not chasing. You are now. Feel the weight of the world lifted from your shoulders. Not because someone saved you, but because the version of you who is already free, already wealthy, already standing in the flow of $50 million, 0 cents, has awakened. Let me remind you of a truth that has been buried beneath your doubts. You already have it. There is no need to hustle harder, to beg the world to give you more, or to ask permission from life itself. Creation is finished. All versions of you already exist, and the one with $50 million, 0 cents, is just one assumption away. You must assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, not tomorrow, not when the evidence shows, right now. You must walk, talk, breathe, and rest in the knowing that it is already yours. Because money does not come to the needy. It comes to the one who knows it is already theirs. You are not poor. That is a memory, a phantom, a fading echo of an old state you no longer occupy. What you feel now, deeply and consistently, will clothe itself in form. Imagine it now. Your accounts overflowing, your home reflecting abundance, your freedom unshaken by circumstance. Imagine not as a beggar, but as a creator. Not as a wish, but as a fact. Do not ask how. The how is none of your business. The universe rearranges itself around the feeling you sustain. And your only job is to persist in that state until what is invisible becomes undeniable. You do not wait for wealth. You become wealth. You do not wait for a miracle. You are the miracle. So think this way. $50 million, 0 cents is already mine. I'm not going to get it. I have it now. I accept it. I feel it. I live from it. Say it until you believe it. Then believe it until you no longer need to say it, because you'll be living it. And that's when the world will catch up. Not because you earned it, but because you finally claimed it. Breathe. Forget where you are. Forget who you've been. Forget what is in your bank account. And forget the world that tries so hard to remind you of what you lack. Instead, step into the secret place, the inner sanctuary where all things are possible. Here, you are free. Here, you are powerful. And here, you already have the $50 million, 0 cents stock. Don't just imagine it as a number in an account. Feel what it means. What does it feel like to know you never have to worry about money again? What does it feel like to wake up and realize that life is now on your terms? That everything you once dreamed of is now simply your reality? This feeling, this inner experience, is the bridge. It is the link between the desire you hold and the world that reflects it. Most people try to force life into giving them what they want. They work tirelessly, striving, hustling, hoping, begging, all from this state of lack. But what they do not see is that life responds not to effort, but to assumption. The assumption that it is already done, that it is already yours, that you are no longer desiring it, but living from it. The secret is not in doing more. The secret is in being more. Be the person who already has it, not in pretense, but in awareness. If $50 million, 0 cents, were truly yours now, how would you walk? How would you think? How would you speak? You must dare to enter that version of yourself and dwell there, not as a visitor, but as a resident. You see, desire is only the beginning. It is the spark. But feeling is the fire. Feeling is what sets the wheels in motion. It is the signal you send out to life, the language the invisible world understands. When you feel lack, the world mirrors back more lack. When you feel abundance, it must reflect abundance. Do not wait to see it in the outer world before you believe. That is not creation, that is reaction. Creation happens in the unseen. You create with your inner world, and the outer world has no choice but to follow. So train yourself to feel the feeling of your wish fulfilled, not just in moments of meditation, but in every idle moment. Feel it. Embody it. Let your imagination be bold. Let it be real. Picture yourself walking through your dream home, not as a dream, but as a memory. Hear your voice on the phone with your banker, moving millions. Feel the texture of the life that belongs to you. Let it take over your senses. Let it rewrite your reality. This is not fantasy, this is the law of consciousness. What you accept as true within yourself becomes the truth you walk through. So never again say, I want, for wanting implies you do not have. Say instead, I am, I have, it is done. Because in the realm of spirit, it is already so. You are not imagining to create it. You are imagining to recognize what has already been created. You are not convincing the universe, you are convincing yourself. And once you believe it, the world will bend to that belief. The feeling is the key that unlocks the door. It is the proof of faith, the evidence of things not yet seen. So live from the feeling. Let it consume you. Let it guide you. And one day soon you look around and realize what you once imagined is now your life. What you see right now, the life you're living, the people around you, the money in your account, the job you hold, it is not the cause, it is the effect, the result of the imaginal acts you've once accepted as truth. You may not remember the exact moment you imagined these things into being, but you did. Everything around you was first created in your mind. Every experience, every condition, every so-called coincidence, it was shaped by thought, molded by imagination, and sustained by belief. We are taught to believe that what we see with our physical eyes is the real world. But this is the great illusion. What you call reality is simply the solidified version of your inner world. It is a mirror, a delayed reflection of what you have accepted and entertained within yourself. If you do not like what you see, there is no use in fighting the reflection. The only transformation that lasts is the one that begins in the mind. Imagination is not some playful distraction, it is divine, it is creative power, it is the workshop of the world. Everything you've ever built, touched, loved, or lost was first born in the invisible realm of thought. So why do we doubt it? Why do we look at our present circumstances and believe they are fixed, unchangeable? Because we have forgotten the truth. The outer world is not the master. It is the servant. If you want to change your life, you must go to the root. And the root is within. No one can see what you're imagining, but everyone will witness its effects. Do not underestimate the power that lies behind closed eyes and a quiet mind. In that stillness, you are shaping nations. In that inner silence, you are rewriting your life. The moment you begin to imagine a new reality and accept it as real, not someday, not maybe, but now, you begin to plant seeds in consciousness. And like every seed, it needs no effort on your part to grow. It only requires your faith. Water it with your attention, nourish it with repetition, protect it from the weeds of doubt, and in time it must bear fruit. You cannot imagine one thing and expect another. You cannot dwell in poverty in your mind and expect riches to knock at your door. You cannot hold on to memories of failure and hope success will bloom. Life is just. It gives you exactly what you assume to be true. And that truth is not determined by your words, but by your inner state. So you must imagine differently, boldly, radically. You must dare to believe that your imagination is more real than what your senses report. Because it is. The senses only tell you what was. Imagination tells you what can be. And if you persist in the assumption of your desire, your senses must eventually confirm it. They have no choice. Begin now. Choose a scene that implies your desire is fulfilled. Live in it. Return to it. Let it become your dwelling place. When doubt arises, remind yourself. The world is only echoing past assumptions, but I am no longer that version of myself. I see differently now. I feel differently now. I imagine differently now. The world does not change first. You do. And once you do, the world cannot help but change with you. Because imagination is not a dream. It is the foundation of all that exists. It is the only reality. Hold fast to it, and everything else will follow. It is a quiet power that moves mountains, opens doors, and multiplies wealth. And it does so without noise, without struggle, and without force. It does not shout, it whispers. It lives not in the world of action, but in the stillness of your inner being. And it is there, in the silence of your mind, that all things are claimed. You have been taught to fight for money, to strive endlessly, to wake early and run faster, work harder, push beyond your limits. You've been told the world rewards those who hustle, who bleed, who sacrifice everything just to taste a drop of financial freedom. But that is not how true wealth is made. That is how it is chased, and often how it slips through your fingers. The real source of wealth is within, and it does not respond to desperation, it responds to acceptance. You do not have to convince the world you are worthy of money. You do not have to beg life to bless you. You only have to accept, in the quiet sanctuary of your own mind, that it is already yours. This is not denial of reality. This is mastery of it. Because reality is fluid. It bends to the assumptions you hold in consciousness. And when you claim something internally, not wishfully, but confidently, the world rearranges itself to match that inner knowing. So what does this claiming look like? It is not loud, it is not dramatic, it is subtle. You sit in stillness, you close your eyes, and you feel the truth of it. You hear the inner voice that says, I already have more than enough. You do not argue with it, you do not doubt it, you accept it as your new state of being. In this state, there is no need to hustle to prove yourself. There is no need to compare yourself to anyone else. There is no need to worry about how it will come. The how belongs to the wisdom of life itself. Your only role is to claim it. Think of the wealthy version of you, not in the future. Now, what are they thinking? How do they feel about money? How do they walk through the world? They are not frantic. They are not anxious. They are calm. They are certain. They expect abundance, and therefore it finds them, not because of effort, but because of alignment. This is the secret most ignore. You do not manifest what you want. You manifest what you are, and you become what you assume. So assume the role now. Be the person who already has it. Feel that peace, feel that confidence, not for 5 minutes, but for as long as it takes until it becomes natural. Let others chase. Let them stress. You have found the still place, the place where all things begin. And from that place you speak not to the world, but to yourself. I have it. And that quiet claim echoes into the fabric of reality, weaving the events, people and opportunities that lead you exactly where you belong. There is no need to announce it, no need to prove it. What is truly yours cannot be taken. What is claimed in consciousness cannot be denied in the outer world. So speak not with your mouth, but with your inner vision. Declare not to others, but to yourself, again and again, until your soul believes it. And when you believe, the world will reflect, not because you forced it, but because you claimed it in the silence of your mind. When you play the lottery, do not play with hope. Do not play with doubt hiding behind your smile. Play as the one who already holds the winning ticket in consciousness. Before the numbers are ever drawn, before you ever see a result, go within and see it. Feel it. Claim it. Understand this. What you see in the physical world is nothing but the delayed reflection of your past states of mind. So if you play while thinking, maybe I'll win, then you are not creating, you are gambling. But when you persist in the assumption that you have already won, even before the physical evidence appears, then you are doing what the world calls impossible, but what is simply natural law. If the numbers come and they are not yours, do not flinch. Do not fall into despair. Do not say, see, it didn't work. That is doubt speaking. And doubt is the denial of the gift. It is the dismissal of what you have already claimed in spirit. Instead, say quietly to yourself, this is just the bridge. This is not the end. I still have it. It is already mine. You do not beg for what you already own. You assume it. You dwell in it. You let the world catch up. Play the lottery with a different mind. Not the mind of chance, but the mind of certainty. Hold the ticket and feel the joy as if you are already holding the winnings. See yourself celebrating. Feel the relief. Feel the gratitude. Let it be so real in your inner world that the outer world has no choice but to bend toward it. This is the way of manifestation. The world responds to conviction. not loud, desperate shouting, but quiet, unwavering belief. True manifestation is not waiting to see if it will happen. It is knowing it already has. And when you persist in this way, with unwavering inner knowing, with joy, with bold expectation, the lottery, like all things, becomes a tool in the hands of your consciousness. A mirror that simply reflects what you dared to believe in silence. So the next time you play, go inward first. Assume the feeling, claim the win, dwell in it. And then, no matter what the numbers say, persist. The unseen is more real than the seen. And when you believe that, magic happens. When you play the lottery, do not ask, do not plead. Do not say, I hope I win, or please let this be my turn. That posture, that energy, keeps your desire at arm's length. You cannot be in the state of asking and the state of having at the same time. The one who asks is still without. The one who knows already has. Before you ever hold the ticket in your hand, know that it's the winning one. Not because of luck, not because of odds, but because you have already accepted it in the deep silence of your mind. This is not about superstition. It's about alignment. When you align with the state of being a winner, life rearranges itself to fulfill that inner knowing. You see, when you ask, you place yourself below the desire. You are the beggar looking up. But when you know, you become one with the thing itself. You are no longer reaching, you are receiving. That's when the magic begins. So, when you play as the one who already knows it is done. Not with arrogance, but with quiet certainty. Feel the gratitude before you ever see a result. Feel the joy, the peace, the relief. Not someday, but now. Let those emotions wash over you like a wave. Not because something might happen, but because it already has in your imagination. When doubt whispers, when the mind wants to check the outcome and worry, return to the knowing. Return to the truth. Remind yourself, I am not hoping, I am not wishing, I am dwelling in the end. I know. This is the greatest secret. Your world does not respond to asking. It responds to assumption. It responds to your inner conviction, to the vibration you carry in stillness. When you become the version of yourself who already has what you desire, the outer world cannot help but conform. So treat that lottery ticket as a mirror of your consciousness, not as a gamble, but as a symbol of what you've already accepted as yours in imagination. You don't need to beg life for abundance. Life is always reflecting what you are willing to be. Feel it so deeply within that even if the result tells you otherwise, your faith remains unmoved. That's when the shift happens. That's when you step out of the old story. You are no longer the one hoping to win. You are the one who has won. And the world is simply catching up. So play the lottery, but play differently now. Play from the end. Play from the knowing. And watch what happens. When you play the lottery, don't play toward a future win. Play from the win already being yours. Do not live as someone hoping something will happen. Live as the version of you in whom it already has. This is the difference between chasing a dream and embodying a truth. The one who lives from the end is not waiting. They are being. Most people play and then wait, eyes fixed on numbers, breath caught in hope. But that energy declares, I do not have it. And what you are, the state you occupy, must be reflected back to you. So if you remain in the state of waiting, of lack, of desire, then waiting is what you receive. Lack continues. The desire remains unfulfilled. But when you live from the end, from the state of already possessing the $50 million 0 cents, the universe has no choice but to echo that vibration. The outer world bends to the inner reality. You are not waiting for confirmation, you are giving it. You take the ticket, and before numbers are drawn, before anything real seems to happen, you close your eyes and see your life as if it has already unfolded. You walk through the house that's now yours. You hear the calls you would receive. You feel the sense of peace that $50 million, 0 cents brings, not as fantasy, but as fact. And then you live from that truth. You don't check your bank account in fear. You don't wonder if you should keep playing. You don't question whether it's possible. You know. When you live from the end, you align with the frequency of the thing desired. You are no longer saying, I want to be rich. You are silently saying, I am rich. And so the world moves to match that declaration. It may seem like magic, but it's law. The inner state is the blueprint. Reality is the outpouring. So the next time you play the lottery, see yourself as already having won. Don't wait for the evidence. Don't wait to feel the joy. Don't wait to celebrate. Do it now, inwardly. And then walk as that version of you throughout your day. Hold your head like someone who already has $50 million. 0 cents. Speak with the calm of someone who never worries about bills again. Let that energy saturate you. The numbers are not the source. You are. The ticket is not your hope. It is your mirror. And when the inner man is aligned with wealth, the outer world delivers it by whatever means necessary. Now you understand. $50 million 0 cents is not a fantasy waiting in some distant future. It is a state of consciousness already alive within you, waiting to be accepted, not asked for, not begged for, claimed. When you assume the feeling of already having it, when you persist regardless of appearances, when you stop asking and start knowing, you become one with the thing you desire. You are no longer separate from it. You are the cause. You are the creator. Imagination is not daydreaming. It is the only true reality. What you dare to feel real, what you dwell on in silence, what you boldly embody now, that is what your world must reflect. So the next time you play the lottery, don't play for the win. Play from the win. Live in the end where the desire is already fulfilled, because it is. This is not about luck. It's not about numbers. It's about consciousness, and you have full control. Let the world catch up to your knowing. Let the evidence unfold. But you remain unmoved, remain convinced, because $50 million 0 cents is already yours. Think this way and nothing will be impossible for you. Thank you. Thank you for walking this journey of awareness with me. Thank you for choosing to be Neville Goddard. Thank you for daring to claim what is already yours. Now go, not as the one who wishes, but as the one who knows, and watch the world respond. Close your eyes, even now, and listen, not with your ears, but with your spirit. This is not a motivational slogan. This is a divine instruction, a sacred reminder from the higher self to the waking self. When morning light touches your face, before the noise of the world rushes in, there is a window, a holy space, a few precious moments where your spirit stands at the gate between two worlds, the seen and the unseen. And in that space, you are not to speak of fear or lack or what you don't yet have. You are to declare. And here are the 4 words to tell yourself every morning. It is already done. Say it again. It is already done. If you desire love, it is already done. If you seek wealth, it is already done. If you long for peace, it is already done. Every morning, speak as the one who knows, not as the one who wants. Because when you assume it is done, you command the invisible forces of life to align with your assumption. You walk, breathe, move, and speak from the place of your answered prayer. And as you repeat those words, they become law in the unseen. They shape your day, your week, your life. The tomorrow and every day after, before you speak to the world, speak to your soul. And let those 4 words lead your life. It is already done. That is your truth. That is your power. That is the beginning of everything. Every word you speak to yourself is not just a sound. It is a seed planted deep in the rich soil of your subconscious, where it quietly begins to grow. Whether you whisper it in the privacy of your mind or shout it into the silence of the morning, each word carries power. You may not see its effect instantly, but just as a tree does not burst forth the moment the seed hits the ground, your words are working in the unseen. They are taking root. They are shaping your life from within. You must become aware of this power. For most speak as if words are empty. They describe what they see, what they fear, what they lack. And in doing so, they unknowingly keep watering the very conditions they wish to escape. If you wake each day and say, I'm tired, I'm stressed, nothing is working out, you are not just venting frustrations. You are planting more of the same. You are instructing your subconscious to maintain the life that mirrors those declarations. But you were never meant to describe reality, you were meant to declare it. You were not placed here to repeat what is, but to command what shall be. The greatest secret is not found in the effort to change the world, but in the discipline to change your words. Speak not from what your senses tell you, but from what your spirit knows to be true. Speak from the end, from the fulfillment, from the victory already won. Because every time you do, you plant a new seed in the garden of your mind. And this is no ordinary garden, this is sacred ground. Whatever you plant here, whether love or fear, abundance or lack, peace or worry, will grow. The subconscious does not judge. It accepts. It obeys. It creates. It listens not to what you say once in a while, but what you say consistently with feeling. If you persist in speaking as though your desire has already been fulfilled, you are watering the seed of that reality, and in time, it will blossom in your world. The great error is speaking from the lack, saying, I want over and over, believing that desire alone will manifest change. But want only reinforces distance. It implies separation from the thing you long for. Instead of saying, I want to be successful, you must say, I am successful. Not because your outer life shows it yet, but because your inner self knows it now. That is the work. That is the shift. To plant the seed of who you truly are, even when no one else can see it. The truth is, You are always creating. The moment you wake up, you stand at a crossroads. One path leads you back into the patterns of yesterday, the thoughts, emotions, and assumptions that shaped your former experience. The other leads to your desired reality. The difference is not in the world outside of you. It is in your consciousness. It is in where you choose to dwell internally the moment your eyes open. Your consciousness is not passive. It is the creative force behind everything you experience. Every condition, every encounter, every opportunity or limitation in your life began as a state of mind. When you begin to understand this, you stop reacting and start creating. You no longer wake up hoping for a good day. You rise knowing that you are the good day. You become aware that your thoughts are not idle, they are invitation. Each thought calls forth a version of you, and the version you entertain long enough will eventually be the one that walks out into the world. It is not about what you do after your coffee, or who you text, or what the news says. Your reality was already set the moment you chose your morning steak. If you align yourself with lack, worry, and doubt, then the day must reflect that. But if you align with peace, gratitude, and knowing, it must conform to that too. This is not wishful thinking. This is law. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the cause of them. The mistake is in thinking that change must begin on the outside, that if the world changes, then you will feel different. But the world is only ever echoing back the state you occupy. You cannot live in the consciousness of I don't have and expect the experience of I do. You must become the person who has it before any sign appears. And the only place this transformation can occur is in consciousness. This is why the morning is sacred. In those early minutes, your mind is still soft, still impressionable. You are closer to the subconscious than at any other time. What you plant there will begin to shape your world without resistance. If you wake and immediately remember your limitations, you revive them. If you remember who you choose to be, you give that version life. Do not underestimate the power of a few aligned thoughts. A single decision to dwell in the feeling of abundance, love, or purpose first thing in the morning can shift your entire reality. You may not see it immediately, but you will feel it. And if you persist, the world must reorganize to match it. This is not about controlling life with force. It is about assuming the state that naturally reflects your desired life. So ask yourself, who am I being this morning? Am I the person who is waiting, or the one who already is? Am I speaking as the version of myself who lacks confidence, or as the one who knows their worth? This inner dialogue is not meaningless. It is your creation unfolding in real time, and the more you assume your desired state, the more natural it becomes. You won't have to try to act like the person you want to be. You will be that person. The performance ends. The struggle fades. Because you've become it in consciousness first. And once you've done that, the outer world must follow. It has no choice. Your consciousness is the blueprint, the mold. Life can only pour itself into the shape you hold within. So begin each morning not by reacting to what is, but by choosing who you are. Return to the state of the wish fulfilled. Dwell in the feeling of it being already done. And then walk into your day from that place, not seeking confirmation, but living in it as your truth. This is how reality changes. Not through effort, but through alignment. Not through struggle, but through assumption. All begins in consciousness, and all is made real by where you choose to dwell. Before you lift a finger, before you make a move, before you plan, strategize, or act, you must become. The world responds not to what you want, but to who you are. And who you are begins in consciousness. Identity precedes action. The one who tries to change the world without first changing the self will always feel resistance. Because action without identity is like building a house on sand. What you do flows naturally from who you believe yourself to be. So if you wake up and declare, "I am overwhelmed," then no matter how well you organize your day, you will find chaos. If you say, "I am not enough," then your actions will unconsciously sabotage every opportunity. But if you begin with, "I am powerful, I am clear, I am already what I once chased," then your actions flow from that place of knowing. It is not forced. It is not fake. It becomes a natural extension of who you now are. This is the secret most ignore. They wake up trying to fix the external world, forgetting that the external is always a mirror. They ask, "What should I do today?" instead of "Who am I today?" But your morning declarations are more than affirmations. They are instructions, commands to the subconscious, blueprints that shape the rest of the day. When you speak as the person you wish to be, you start to inhabit that state. You begin to think as them, move as them, respond as them. And soon, you no longer have to try to be that person. You are that person. Your identity is not static. It is not a permanent label that life gave you. It is a choice. And each day, especially in the morning, you have the chance to choose again. Most people wake up and remember who they were yesterday. They pick up the same burdens, the same doubts, the same roles. And so the cycle continues. But the conscious one, the awakened one, pauses. They do not ask, "What is true about me based on yesterday?" They ask, "What is true about me based on the future I've already chosen?" This is where power lives. In choosing your identity based on your desire, not your history. If you desire to be confident, then speak it. "I am confident." If you desire to be healthy, wealthy, loved, then declare it as done. "I am already it." Not in hope, not in pretense, but in faith. Knowing that consciousness forms reality, and identity is the seed from which all action flows. When you declare something in the morning, you are not waiting for permission. You are not asking the world if it agrees. You are announcing who you are to yourself, to your subconscious, to the unseen forces that shape your experience. You are stepping into alignment with the version of you that already has what you seek. And once you fully occupy that state in mind, life begins to reflect it back in detail. Do not underestimate the power of morning declarations. They are not idle words. They are the setting of the compass, the claiming of the throne. You do not wait until the money comes to say, "I am abundant." You say it now because it must first be true within. You do not wait until you feel brave to say, "I am courageous." You declare it now, and from that state, bravery becomes your natural response. So begin here. Decide who you are. Not based on how you feel, not based on what you see, but based on the end you have chosen. Identity first, then thought, then action. That is the order. That is the way. When you become the person in mind, you do not need to force results. They follow you. They must. Because reality always bends to meet the one who knows who they are. When you speak your morning words, those 4 sacred declarations, they are not to be spoken as mere habit, not to be whispered without power, not to be repeated without presence. They are to be felt, because it is not the words themselves that change reality. It is the feeling they awaken within you. Feeling is the bridge. feeling is the fire. Without it, your words are empty. With it, your entire world must shift. You see, thought alone is not enough. You can say, I am wealthy 1,000 times, but if beneath those words you still feel lack, worry, and disbelief, then it is the feeling that wins. The subconscious does not hear what you say, it feels what you mean. It responds not to your voice, but to your vibration. And vibration is born in feeling. This is the great misunderstanding. People recite affirmations hoping for magic, but they do not pause to embody the state they are declaring. They speak as if the words alone will do the work, while inside they remain unchanged. And so nothing moves, because nothing truly shifted within. The inner man, the true self, never left his old identity. And until he does, the world cannot follow. To feel is to become. When you say, I am loved, but feel unloved, the outer world reflects that inner contradiction. But if you say, I am loved, and feel the warmth of it, the truth of it, the safety of it, even if only for a few moments, then you begin to draw to you all that matches that state. Feeling magnetizes, it gathers, it attracts. Thought gives it shape, but feeling gives it life. That is why you must slow down in the morning. Do not rush your declarations. Do not treat them like a checklist. Let them rise from within you. Say them with presence, with intention, with belief. If you say, I am powerful, then stop and feel what it would be like to truly know your power. What would shift in your breath, in your posture, in your energy? Let that version of you take over. That is when manifestation begins. Then you don't just say the words, but when you feel them as real. This is the inner alchemy. You are not trying to make something happen. You are stepping into the state where it has already happened. You are feeling the end as if it is now. Because for the subconscious, there is no future. There is only now. It doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. It only responds to the dominant feeling you accept as true. So if you imagine wealth and feel wealthy, you are wealthy now in the only place that matters. The realm of cause. The outer must echo the inner. And this feeling is not always loud. It doesn't have to be overwhelming or dramatic. Sometimes it's a quiet peace, a steady confidence, a simple knowing. But it must be sincere. It must come from the heart. You cannot fake it. You must let yourself sink into the state. That's why the morning is so powerful. Your mind is still soft. The noise of the world hasn't entered yet. You can access deeper feeling more easily. You become more easily. And what you become, you attract. So remember this each day. The words you speak are the keys, but the feeling is the doorway. Speak from the state, not toward it. Feel from the end, not about the journey. Let your 4 words not be cries of desire, but statements of fact. And let your feeling match their truth. Then watch as the world, like a faithful servant, begins to rise and mirror the state you chose. You are not waiting for life to change. You are changing first, and life is following, as it always does. Morning is not the time for hoping. It is not the time for pleading, wishing, or wondering if today will bring what you desire. Morning is the sacred threshold of creation. The moment you step from the sleep world into the waking world. And it is here, at this powerful doorway, that you must assume the end already is. There is no need to ask again for what you have already received in spirit. There is no need to beg for what is already yours. The moment you desire, it is given. The moment you see it in your mind, it is yours in the unseen. So the only question that remains each morning is, Will I live from it or live toward it? That one decision defines the entire shape of your day. To assume the end is to move beyond effort. It is to inhabit the version of you who already has it, already is it, already lives it, and it must be done in the silence of the heart. The world may still appear the same, the conditions may still whisper limitations, but you do not answer to the world. You answer to the unseen truth you have accepted within. You walk as if it is done. You speak as if it is done. Note, you rise from bed with a knowing that nothing is missing because you already claimed it in consciousness. This is the power most ignore. They rise each day chasing the same desire they claimed yesterday. They loop and delay, always preparing, always hoping, always waiting. But the one who understands the law no longer waits. They assume. They act not to create the reality, but because the reality is already created. Their movement is not trying to make it happen. It is the expression of a thing already finished. Can you wake up and say thank you before the outer world gives you a reason? Can you smile as the version of you who has already arrived? Can you meet the mirror and speak to yourself not as who you were yesterday, but as who you have already become in spirit? That is the test. That is the transformation. And when you pass it, the world must follow. As all creation is finished. You are not inventing anything new. You are selecting. Every version of you already exists. Every outcome, every success, every fulfilled dream. You do not manifest by force. You manifest by assumption, by choosing the scene, choosing the feeling, choosing the identity, and then walking in it as your only truth. This is why your morning declarations matter. They are not passive wishes. They are powerful, conscious decisions about who you are and what is real. And the more you assume the end, the more the middle rearranges itself to support that truth. People change, circumstances shift, paths appear, not because you forced them, but because you finally stopped doubting, because you trusted that what you felt was more real than what you saw. The world bends to the one who dares to persist in assumption, not once, not twice, but daily, especially in the morning, when the soil of the mind is softest and the seed can go deepest. Say to yourself, it is already done, and don't just say it, feel it. Feel the relief, the gratitude, the peace of knowing. And let every breath from that moment forward be taken by the one who knows the outcome is certain. No need to chase, no need to prove, no need to convince others. You know what you have accepted. You know what you have claimed. That is the foundation of creation. That is the secret behind all true change. Begin each day with assumption, not of who you used to be, not of what the world told you is possible, but of the end, the final scene, the desire fulfilled. Let that be your state, your standard, your song. And the world, being only a mirror, would have no choice but to reflect it back. Repetition is not a mundane task. It is not for the weak or the mindless. Repetition is the sacred rhythm of creation. It is how truth becomes flesh. It is how a whisper becomes a world. You do not repeat your truth because you doubt it. You repeat it because you are establishing it. You are planting it deeper with every word, with every morning declaration, until it becomes the only voice the subconscious hears. And once the subconscious accepts it, it must express it. This is the unseen process of transformation. The outer world may not change immediately, but within you something is shifting. Each time you speak your truth, I am powerful, I am loved, I am successful. You are not just affirming, you are constructing. You are building the internal scaffolding that holds the new self. And at first it may feel unnatural. At first the old thoughts may rise up in protest, but that is only a sign that the old identity is crumbling. The more you persist, the more that old version of you must dissolve. Repetition is not about quantity, it is about quality. It is not enough to speak words you do not feel. You must engage with them. You must speak them as if they are the only truth worth knowing. You must let them sink in, let them wash over you, let them become you. The one who builds their morning around repetition of truth is not repeating for the sake of hearing themselves. They are repeating to become. The subconscious does not resist. It accepts whatever is impressed upon it consistently. It cannot distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It only knows what you repeat, what you believe, what you feel. So if you want to change your world, begin with your repetition. Because what you repeat with feeling becomes belief, and what you believe becomes reality. That is why the morning is so vital. It is the moment when the conscious mind is still quiet, when the veil between the seen and unseen is thin. What you repeat in that space becomes law to your inner world, and once it is law within, the outer world obeys. This is not superstition, it is the natural order. You are the operant power. You are the sower of thought, and repetition is how you water what you planted. There is no need to force it, there is no need to rush. Let it become a practice of devotion, a sacred habit. Let it be the quiet strength behind your everyday. When doubt whispers, repeat. When fear creeps in, repeat. When you feel far from your desire, repeat. Not to convince yourself, but to return to yourself. Your repetition is not trying to create truth. It is eventually the repetition takes root. Eventually you won't need to force the words. They will rise on their own. Eventually the new self will not feel like imagination, it will feel like memory. And when that happens, manifestation is inevitable. Because you are no longer chasing your desire. You are embodying the version of you who lives in it already. Everything in your life is a reflection of what you have consistently repeated. About yourself, about your worth, about your possibilities. So choose wisely. Speak only what you want to live. Let your repetition be aligned with the highest vision of you. Speak it daily, feel it deeply, and never stop, because you are always impressing something upon the subconscious. Choose now to impress only that which leads to life, joy, and fulfillment. The world is not waiting for change, it is waiting for you to repeat the truth until you finally believe it. And when you believe it, the outer world will echo it. Faith repeated becomes fact. That is the power you hold every morning. Use it. Every morning, you stand at the threshold of creation. Before the world speaks to you, you have the sacred opportunity to speak to yourself. The words you choose, the identity you claim, the feelings you embody, these are not small gestures. They are acts of power, acts of alignment. You are not simply starting your day, you are shaping your reality. These 4 words you declare each morning are more than affirmations, they are keys. Keys that unlock the version of you who already exists in the unseen. And with repetition, with feeling, with assumption, you become that version. Not through struggle, but through inner certainty, through quiet knowing, through the decision to no longer delay your destiny. So rise each day not as a seeker, but as one who has found. Not as a beggar, but as a creator. Let the morning be your altar, and your words the offering. Plant the seed, feel the state, Repeat the truth and assume it is already done, because it is. Thank you for allowing these words to enter your space, your mind, your spirit. May they remind you of what you've always known. You are the cause. You are the power. You are the one. Now go, speak your 4 words, and live from the end.